So the reason we're showing you how to make this yogurt today is because we want to show you how delicious vegan food can be, and in addition to that, how it can be lower cost and super healthy. We didn't use any sugar in this recipe. It was super easy to make and healthy with all our live cultures in there. So I'm going to enjoy my breakfast and I'll see you next time. Okay, so we're making the yogurt and I'm using a high protein soy milk, but basically you just want to try and find something that's got at least around 4 grams of protein per 100 mils. And I'm using 1 liter, and I'm just going to put this into my saucepan and bring it to a simmer. Okay, so we've got the soy milk on the stove cooking. It hasn't come to a simmer yet, but meanwhile I've got some boiling water because we want to make sure that everything is sterilized, so we're not breeding any nasty bacteria, we're just using the bacteria from the culture. So I've just got some boiling water here, and I've actually even put a spoon in there too, so I'm going to use that to get my culture out, or my yogurt. So I'm just filling up some jars here with the boiling water, just so we're killing anything that is no good. And these were just some jars that had some pasta in them. So I'm just going to let that sit for a few minutes while my soy milk is coming to a simmer. And yeah, and then we'll finish. Okay, so our soy milk has started smoking. It's almost there. Oh, I see some bubbles. Okay, so it's simmering now, so we can switch that off. And I'm going to leave this for probably about 20 minutes or until it's just warm. And how I'm going to test that is I'm just going to stick my finger in, and if it feels kind of like a just warm, you know, like a warm sort of baby's bath, then we can add our culture, which is basically just some yogurt which has live cultures in it. So you can use one that you've made before, or you can use any store-bought one, whether it's like a vegan one or a dairy one, but you just want to make sure that it has live cultures in it. Okay. Okay, so my milk is now warm, so I'm just going to add some yogurt. So I just had a little bit of yogurt left. I'm using a 1/4 cup, or about 4 sort of spoons worth. So I'm going to put this into the milk, which is cooled down. It's just warm at the moment, and I'm going to whisk that in. So now you want to just pour out that hot water that we use to sterilize our jars. Okay, and I have my warm milk, which I whisked in that yogurt, and I'm just going to pour this in to our jars. And I'm just going to put those lids on nice and tight and give them a rinse. Okay, so I've just tightened the jar lids and I just gave them a rinse under the tap just to make sure there was no yogurt anywhere there. And I just have like a little lunch bag here, or a little thermal bag, or you can use an esky. Or when I first came here, I didn't have one, so I just rolled up my yogurt in some blankets, and that also works. So I'm just going to put these jars in here, and I'm going to zip that up, and we're going to let those sit for about 12 hours. And then that'll be ready, and then we can just put it in the fridge and then use your yogurt as you like. Should last about a week in the fridge, and that cold temperatures are just going to stop the process of the culture continuing to do its work. Okay, and there you have it. That will be your yogurt. We'll have yogurt tomorrow. So it's the next day. I took my yogurt out of my thermal bag and I had it in the fridge this morning for a couple of hours. And now we're gonna have a look at the consistency while we eat our breakfast here this morning. Okay, so now we're gonna take a look at the consistency. Now you can see it's already set. See? Okay. Now this yogurt is really, really thick. It's almost like a Greek yogurt. So you can see how thick it is. I'm just gonna put some on my breakfast this morning. See, super, super thick. And that's really comes down to the soy milk that you're using. So the higher the protein, the soy milk, you're gonna get a really, really thick yogurt. If you can't find a super high protein soy milk, it's just gonna be a little bit runnier, okay? Taking a peek inside my morning breakfast, I've got some granola, which I made as well. Yeah, we have some oats, fruits. All right. And my mum just reminded me, make sure that you keep a little bit of your yogurt so you can continue making yogurt the next time, so you won't need to buy any. And we've got also here some baklava, so stay tuned. We are making this in some of our upcoming courses. So I'll see you online or in the classroom.